Hello friends. In my last video, we discussed why Python is so popular and how widely it is used for various applications such as web development, data analysis, machine learning, automations, and more. But in order to start programming with Python, you first need to download and install it on your computer or laptop. And before that, hello everyone again. I am Deep, and in this video, I will demonstrate how to install Python on your computer. So without any further delay, let us begin. We will be downloading and installing Python, of course, as we said. Then we will be setting an IDE, or you can say integrated development environment. What is that? We will see later. Then we will use this IDE to write our Python program, to run it, to debug it, and a lot of things, but all in very short details. Then we will also be seeing what is virtual environment, what is their importance, how to set up virtual environment. And with that, we will conclude our video for today. So this is our agenda, and with that, let us start downloading and installing of Python. We will open our browser for that, and in the search bar, we will type Python download and go to first link. So you can select which platform you are going to use your Python, whether it is for Windows, for Linux, or Mac OS, or any other platform. We are going to use Python for Windows. So we will select this option and it will download the Python. Now we will run this Python installer. This will start the Python installation process. Make sure that you select python.exe to path variable. Otherwise, you need to specify full path to Python while running your program, and it will also be very cumbersome to use. So better you can do it here. And if you forget to do it, you can also do it through environment variables. Then you can select install now or customize installation. Both are fine, but I will go with customize installation. Everything is looking fine here. By default, Python is installing in your particular user directory. But if you want to make sure that Python is installed for every user, then select this. Now Python will install it in program files. So this is available to everyone. Let us start our Python installation. It is asking me to give permission, of course. It will take some time. Let us wait for it to complete. So as you can see, Python is installed, setup was successful. But there is one more thing to do, and that is to disable path length limit. It will again ask for your admin permission, and now this is done. Installation was successful, that we already saw in the last screen of installation wizard, but now we also want to see that it's working properly. So for that, we will go to our command prompt. Here you can type python hyphen version. If it is giving you Python version information, then Python is set up properly. Otherwise, there is some issue. So as you can see, it is showing you that Python 3.11.3 has been installed. So Python is ready to work. Now you can start coding in Python and explore its vast libraries and tools for various applications. But before that, let us write a simple program in Python. To do that, we will enter this command and it will open Python prompt. Here you can write your Python statements. So we will just simply write hello everyone. Enter this and it should display the same string. Yes. So this is our first program. Cool. Now you have also written your first Python program, but it looks a little cumbersome. First of all, no syntax highlighting, and it is only accepting one statement at a time. If you want to write a complete Python program, of course, you can use Notepad and other text editor, but that is also not a good choice, I believe. And another difficulty would be like there will not be any syntax highlighting if you're using plain text editor, facility or feature to debug your code, and many more. So this is where IDEs, or you can say integrated development environment, makes our life easier by many forms. IDE, in short, you can say, is a software application that provides you various facilities for programming, debugging, and testing your code, code intelligence, a lot of things. And setting up an IDE for Python is an important step for developers. So in this section, we will go through the steps of setting up your Python IDE. There are many options available: PyCharm, Visual Studio Code, Spider, and many more. My preferred choice is Visual Studio Code. Setting up Visual Studio Code as your Python is also a straightforward process, but before that, we need to download Visual Studio Code, just like Python. We will look for Visual Studio Code, download here. Then we will select for our particular operating system, which is Windows. So we will select this one. Now, as you can see that it has been downloaded, we will start installing it. Click on open file, click on accept the agreement. Select default location. This is also default. Create a desktop icon, add open with code. I think we can do this. And also this, register code as an editor for code, add to path, next, and then install. As you can see that it has been installed. So we can select on launch Visual Studio Code. It will launch the application. So this is the interface for Visual Studio Code, as you can see. But to make it workable with Python, we need to install an extension. So go to this particular tab, search here for Python. If you click on this extension, then you can read about this extension. Here we will click on install button. It will install the extension for our Visual Studio Code. After installing the Python extension, you need to set up the Python interpreter. To do this, go to View, and from here select Command Palette. Here select Python, select Interpreter. this one, the very first one, which is showing at the top. There is only one version which you have installed. If there are multiple versions of Python installed, then it will be showing you all the options and you can select whatever you want to work with. But we had only one, so now our setup is ready to start working with Python. And now our next step is to create a new Python project. To create a new Python project, first we will create a directory. You can create it anywhere, wherever you want. I will go to documents. Here I will create a new folder. I will name it like Python tuts. Open this folder in VS Code. Go to File, open folder, open the newly created folder, documents, and here is our folder. So this will work as our Python project. You have to select trust the author of all files in the parent folder documents. So yeah, yes, I trust the authors. Now we want to write some Python code. To do that, create a new file by pressing the plus button, which you can see here. Click on this and it will ask for the name of your file. So we will give it first.py. It will be created as soon as you press enter and it will be opened in your editor here. Our font is looking small, so we will go to preferences, settings, and here we will increase font size to somewhere like 18. Will it be fine? Let's see. Yeah, this looks better. And note that we named the extension as py, first.py. This extension denotes that this is a Python file. And okay, now let us just write some code, same statement which we mentioned or written in our earlier program. You can write print here, hello everyone. You don't need to put any semicolon, just like if you are coming from C++ or C world, then you are aware that you need to put semicolon after every statement. But in Python, you don't need to put semicolon to finish your statement. Only new line is enough to indicate that this statement is now complete. Before running this program, I want to show you there is one more feature of this ID, that is terminal. There you can run various commands and even your Python program or other commands also, and you can see the output of your program. So to open that, if it is not visible, then you should go to view and then from view select terminal. It will launch the terminal, and at the bottom of the screen, as you can see, that this is a terminal window. You can also open additional terminals by clicking this plus button, and then this will open another terminal window. And then now you can switch from here to various terminal windows. So this is our terminal window. We will kill one, and now go back to our program. Let us try to run our very simple one-liner program. To do that, right click on this file, choose run Python file in terminal. As you can see that it had executed this file, the output is shown here, that is hello everyone. This is exactly same as what we were trying to print here. We just ran our script by simply right clicking the file and selecting this option. Let us now try to run it manually. In case we don't want to use this option of right clicking and then select run, then there is another way also. To do that, go to your terminal and here enter Python. This is the command to run Python application, and then name of your script first.py, and this will be the output. So this is how our program can be run manually or either so right hand bar. And there is another way also. You can run Python file by clicking on this arrow button here and it will print our program. Hello everyone. So there are three ways to run our Python application. One is through right click, one is through command prompt manually, and third one is through this arrow button on the top right corner of Visual Studio Code. So this is how we can write our application or our program, Python program in Visual Studio Code IDE, and then we can run. But there are also other features of Python, Visual Studio IDE. One of that you already noticed when we write this, it was showing us all the function names or all parameters which can start with this or which have these characters. So you can select it here, enter, because I want to select print. This will automatically complete the statement. Now you can also see what all parameter it can accept. So it will give you all the details, like it is saying that it is expecting a values as an object, separator, and then various other kind of arguments. It is also giving you an overview of function supposed to do, prints the value to a stream, various things, even the information about various argument, what is separator, what is and. So this is another nice feature of Visual Studio Code, or you can say an IDE. And this feature is known as code intelligence. So we just saw how this thing is working. So let us write what it was there before. Hello everyone. I want to give you one more idea about this particular code intelligence feature. Let us declare a variable my name, and I will name it my name is Deep. So what are variables? For the time being, we can skip this part. Just keep it in mind that this is a way to remember a value. So if I want to remember a value Deep, then I assign this to a variable my name, or you can also say this is an identifier. So this is enough for the time being, but in the coming chapters, most probably in the next chapter, we will be discussing about variables, what are they, why they are required, and the various data types. Like this is one data type which is known as string, but there are many other data types which we will be discussing in our coming videos. So we were discussing about code intelligence. So we just declared a variable my name, and now I will show you how it can help you. As soon as I press dot, it will show me all the functions which are related to this string type data type. So I can select anything, like there is this function capitalize, which will make all the characters capital. There are other things. Format is alphanumeric if I want to check whether my string is containing alphanumeric character or only ASCII character or only decimal character. So this is another feature of code intelligence. Code intelligence, and there are many more ways to use code intelligence, which we will be seeing in our coming videos. Now we will be going to another very nice feature that is a life of any software developer, you can say, or development, that is known as debugging. And debugging helps you to understand how your program works during execution or runtime. And it is also helpful in find any bugs. So let us see how VS Code can help us to debug our Python code. To do that, first, we will set a breakpoint. So as you can see, this is a red dot. This indicates that here we can set a breakpoint and program will stop here. When we will run our program, the program execution will stop here. It will run all the statements before this break statement, but not this statement and other statements which are after this. So this is the first step towards debugging. Now you can go to the debug options, which is this one, run and debug. Here you can select create a launch, because this is the first time we are going to create debug profile. So select this option, create a launch.json file. Here select Python, because we are going to debug our Python program, and it had created default configuration to debug our Python. We are not going into detail what are all these parameters. We will be discussing these details when we will be discussing particularly about debug. There will be lot things which you can do with debug. Right now we are just trying to understand how an IDE is helpful for us to write a better code and make our life easier. And this is one of the features. Close this file, and now as you can see, everything is gone from here. There are variable section, watch section, call stack, breakpoints. So it is showing that there is only one breakpoint, which is at in file first.py. Now to start debugging, click on this green button and make sure that Python is selected here. Python is the profile name from this Python current file. So this is the profile name which is specifying the configuration to debug our code. Click on this arrow mark, it will start debugging. And debugger has now started, and as you can see that it has stopped at this line where we had set up our breakpoint, as we already discussed. You can also see that on the left side it is showing various variables, and right now we are only using one local variable, that is my name, and its value is also shown there, that what is the value of this particular variable. But apart from this, there are many global variables which are Python specific, and we are not going into details of this. Here you can also add watch expression. Let us add that I want to see what is the value of this if I want, and here you can see that it is saying that value of my name variable at runtime is deep. You can also see call stack of various function execution here. We will be coming into this also later. Now coming to the debug bar, here you can see various buttons. The first button, which is for continuing, means it will continue to execute our program till the next breakpoint, but there is not any breakpoint. Step over button to move over this statement. Then third one is to move into this statement. It will go inside this function like what it is trying to achieve. And then fourth one is to move out. If I want to move out of the function, then this is that one. This is to restart our debugging, and this is to stop our debugging. So these are 6 buttons. As we don't have much in our program, so just click the continue button, which is this one, and it will print our statement, which is this one, and debugging has completed, because now you cannot see any debug bar here. This is how debugging can be used, or you can debug your code. More on debugging we will be covering in coming videos, but I think for the time being that is enough. And to conclude with our Visual Studio Code discussion, then setting up Visual Studio Code as your Python IDE provides you with a powerful development environment. And setting up is a straightforward process, and by following the steps above, you can set it up easily and start coding in Python without any hassle. And with this, we conclude our today's discussion on setting up Python development environment and even about Python IDEs, which was Visual Studio Code IDE. And from here, now you can continue learning Python by exploring different concepts, which we will be discussing in coming videos. And I sincerely hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in the next. With this, we conclude and have a good day.